I'm walking close to the famous Aladinma Primary School. If you grew up in Owerri, if you knew anything about Owerri, this place was so famous for two things. First of all, the Aladinma lesson that secondary school students, senior secondary school mostly, attended during the long vacation, and then the field where boys that live here played football. So this place is now fenced. Growing up it wasn't fenced, and this is the part of the field. I'm not sure I'm going to enter and capture it, but I just wanted to give you a feel of it. Something that always amazed me right from growing up is that people owned these farm cutouts. I wouldn't call them farmlands per se, but they belong to people actually. So it has always been there before the fencing. The field of Aladinma was mainly half farmland, and then the field where people played football. But people own them. People actually come to plant, water, harvest, and it always gets me wondering, do they own them legitimately, or it's just the factor of anywhere we see land we use until the government tells us to stop? Yeah. This particular stretch of road was bad. This road, all of my memories of it growing up was bad. We couldn't pass here. It was bad, and people used it to fill bins. So these are some of the new houses that I've seen erupting. So this is something that I've noticed, that people are now erupting duplexes and high-rise buildings. Not high-rise, but you get what I mean. This area, Aladinma in Owerri, is originally cut out for low buildings, bungalows. So you're not supposed to build duplexes or any other kinds here. But I don't know, it's apparent that there are no laws enforcement these days. So what I like about Aladinma is space. There is space. Like I was trying to show you before, this entire stretch of land up until the end of that fence belongs to Aladinma Primary School, and this is the length. Then there is the width in front. I'll try to capture it for you to appreciate how much space exists in Aladinma Owerri, and a lot of parts of Owerri. I'm not too sure, but I am sure of this because I grew up in this town and in this particular hood. So there is space. A lot of compounds have spaces. When you compare it to Lagos, you are enjoying more space here than any other place in Lagos. So I'm standing in front of Aladinma Primary School now. This is the entrance, the gate to the school. I'm not sure if you can see the field. I don't want to enter inside the school, or should I enter? Okay, I'll try and enter. And then this is what the expanse, the width. Remember I showed you the length before? This is the width. So this is what the school looks like. So it's quite wide and big. My fondest memory of this place is Aladinma lesson. Like I told you, I attended this lesson in SS1 when I was entering SS1, or when I was entering SS2. I don't remember. I was in secondary school, and we used to. It was more of socialization than it was ever lesson, because people from two major schools, Federal Government Girls College Owerri, which I attended, and Government College Owerri, used to attend here. There were people from other schools, Ikinibu Secondary School, Owerri Girls, but this one was major. I think the major clients, major people that attended this was students from Federal Girls and Government College. And to be honest, it was mostly about socialization, that it was about learning. Learning was good, but really, if we will be honest with ourselves, we didn't really come here to learn. So yeah, that's it about Aladinma. I'll try to enter and just take a few pictures and a few videos, but that is it. I missed the point. So again, I had another fond memory here, and that is attending All Saints Chapel. So All Saints Chapel is the chapel of Federal University of Technology Owerri. It's the non-denominational chapel but they had their physical services, or I don't know, the one that's like for the, I think, staff here. And this hall in particular was where, I think this is the biggest classroom. This was, I don't know whether it is still, this was the biggest classroom block, especially this place that I am standing now in front of. And this was where we used for the chapel. It was fun. I was in primary school then and I enjoyed it. I met a lot of lovely people here, and yeah, so that's part of my memories in this Aladinma primary school. I'm going to stand over there and take a picture. In front of me is the famous Aladinma Mall. So when Ohakim became the governor of Imo State, this mall was supposed to be a major point of attraction of his governance. So people were supposed to cite their stores, their studios, and everything you may have here. And it was also supposed to host a cinema. The plan was around it was good, and the project started. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, as we have come to realize, new governance does not always implement the ideas of the old governance before them. So when Rochas came in, he didn't continue with Ohakim's idea, and this mall has been mostly rejected. I'm attempting an entrance into the Aladinma Mall. I hope I will be granted access. Well, this place, I think the most functional use of this place was for weddings. They had this very massive hall that people could do their wedding receptions, and then also for people that photographers. So I wasn't allowed to take pictures or make videos of the mall, and I am happily leaving, and I continue my mini stroll. So this is another pathway out to Owerri Street. I'm not going to get to Owerri Street, but I just turned this way and I figured I could contain it in this video. It's just to experience the Aladinma Housing Estate. This is the Aladinma post office. Still functional, relatively. This is another entrance, or would I call it exit, into and out of the Aladinma Housing Estate. This road leads you to, so at the end of that junction, that you're heading to prefab. So that is a stretch of road that divides Aladinma from prefab. And then towards that area, there is also the Aladinma mortuary and hospital. This is a stretch of road in this Aladinma that was very, very bad. Like, it was bad for many years. It was up to 20 years this road was bad. This particular stretch of road, it was divided. In fact, there were a lot of things, rumors that I don't know how true, but they used to kidnap here, and that could be factual because here was bad. There were trees, there were grasses. My primary school, we could connect through here, but we were always warned not to ply this road because it was dangerous. And I'm happy to see that it's been fixed. Actually, I know that it has been fixed. I come in and then I realized that it's been fixed and it's been maintained, the fixing. And I'm happy because, you know, it's good for you to realize that the place that used to be terrible is now very good. It makes you happy. This is Mbano Street and it's a very long stretch of streets. So this is also Mbano Street. This particular area, government officials. So Aladinma is basically an estate that was lived by government officials, people that served in government in the 90s and 80s. So they lived here. that there are a lot of people that live here, so they either sold their houses or their children inherited their land. So that's really the arrangement of Aladinma. So we're walking along Mbano Street, and the stretch out of this street is going to lead you towards Imo Gate. So let me try to put Aladinma Housing Estate. Let me try to describe it. I don't know where will be our south and our west and our east, but an exit or entrance. Which should I use? Exit or entrance, whatever you choose. So there is an exit and entrance to Ikenebu, that's towards Maris, if you know very well. There is an exit entrance to Imo Gate. There is exit entrance towards Prefab. There is exit entrance towards where again? MCC. So that's pretty much Aladinma in a nutshell. One good thing about Aladinma is that it can be serene, except your place has been converted to a commercial services area, like has been made an into hostel of sorts or something like this that I see is a school. I think that's what I see. Or there is a hotel or an eatery or one of all those things that attract noise. But originally Aladinma is cool, quiet, calm, and that's one of the attractions of many people to visit. Internal street gates are relatively new to me, right? So I know there's always been gates towards the ends of Aladinma, I don't know, but not from childhood. Towards 10 years ago, 15 years ago, some entrance exits had gates in them, but I'm seeing some clusters of houses coming together to build a gate, and this is new to me. Well, recent development, I guess. I really don't know what the security state of this place is like right now, so I'm happy to have shown you guys what this place looks like. Right, so I'm gonna take my leave. See you next time.